Social media developers probably had a noble cause in mind when they created the technology. They wanted to revolutionize communication, make it easy for human beings to access each other's lives, provide everyone, regardless of geographical location, the chance to connect or reconnect. But between conception and execution, something happened. The profit motive. If you're wondering why you're as hooked as you are on social media, the answer is simple. It's designed to do just that. To capture your attention and harvest your data for the highest bidders. And that's just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. There are many other arguments for why you shouldn't surrender your identity to the likes of Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. In this video, we'll go through the reasons why you should quit social media. 1. Social media gets in the way of actual human interaction. Sure, you have 2,000 friends on Facebook, you have 1,000 mutuals on Twitter. Your Instagram posts rack up an average of 50 likes. But when was the last time you actually hung out with any of your digital friends? Or perhaps the better question is, if you chance upon the Twitter mutual with whom you've exchanged banter within the past 2 years, would the two of you be comfortable having a conversation in real life? Or, as netizens would call it, IRL? Likely not, most especially if you've gotten quite used to purely digital interactions. You might be wondering what's wrong with those digital interactions. Well, there's nothing wrong per se. However, they do eliminate nonverbal cues, which are crucial to communication. No, those emojis won't suffice. Even if you employ an army of emojis, they won't capture, let's say, the heartbreak you're feeling. At least not compared to, for instance, when you bow your head down with your eyes getting watery while physically confiding a problem to a dear friend. 2. Social media dwindles your attention span. Picture this. You're scrolling through your Facebook feed. You see one of your friends doing a live stream. They're overseas exploring a beautiful tourist spot. You're enjoying the content, but there's a nagging feeling at the back of your head. A feeling that you're missing out. On what exactly? You're not quite sure. Perhaps more content worthy of your precious time? That's entirely your call, but you only have 24 hours a day and you can't possibly spend all of those on your phone. However, social media is designed like a bottomless pit of information, an inexhaustible well of content. There's no satisfying your craving, and your self-imposed screen time never runs out. Instead, you end up taking little bites of everything all at once. Such a habit becomes detrimental to your attention span. Social media operates under the paradigm of variable ratio reinforcement. A barrage of fresh new posts rewards your engagement, but you never really reach the level of engagement that's enough to make the experience meaningful. What you're left with is a brain bombarded with a collage of information that you can't make sense of. Worst comes to worst, your dwindling attention span will affect your life outside the digital realm. You might find yourself having immense difficulty focusing on real-life tasks, such as those demanded by school or work. That should be enough to make you quit social media. 3. Social media compromises memory. Facebook regularly reminds you of highlights from your life. For example, the platform will tease you to recollect that weekend you spent in Vegas with an ex-partner from 5 years ago. A weekend where you almost got hitched in one of those famed wedding chapels. Facebook remembers because of the activities you made on the platform during that time period. The status you shared, the photos you posted, the location you pinned, people you tagged. But have you ever felt like, while Facebook tries to remind you what did happen, it felt like a very distant, almost inaccessible memory? The details look hazy in your brain. In your mind's eye, they're no more than a blur. That's because social media affects how you process memory. Social media helps you store and compartmentalize memories. In effect, you're not as hard-pressed to log those memories into your actual brain. You retain fewer details about supposedly special moments in your life because you know there's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to remember on your behalf. If this reliance on social media to contain your precious life remains unabated, you might end up sitting in the living room on a power outage with nothing to access in your brain, no special memories to cherish. And that's a dreadful possibility that should be enough to compel you to quit social media. If you find yourself nodding to the points we've discussed so far, please don't forget to like this video. You might also want to hit the subscribe button to stay updated on our latest content. 4. Social media messes with your self-esteem. You had a especially demanding day at work. Your boss kept breathing down your neck about a project you've been powering through for the past weeks. You get home and get ready for a much-deserved snooze. But before dreamland claims you, you allow yourself a few minutes of screen time on Instagram. There, you see a story from one of your close college friends. She's in the Caribbean enjoying the sand and sea, having the time of her life. All of a sudden, you feel like your life is pointless. Or you've been hard at work trying to improve your fitness. You go to the gym 4 days a week to build muscle and get stronger. You were always known as the skinny kid. Then on Facebook, you see the new profile picture of someone from high school whom you were not particularly close with. This man has all the abs and muscles in the world and hundreds of likes to go with it. All your hopes are dashed. That's how social media messes with your brain. You're trapped in a cycle of comparisons. Your achievements will never be enough because there will always be someone doing better than you. If you fail to do the logical solution, which is to quit social media, you'll see your self-esteem go down the drain. 5. Social media makes you crave attention. Social media has been in existence for a while now. It's safe to say that at some point in the future, everyone on social media will have gone viral for one reason or another. If you're one of the charmed few who has already earned a viral badge, kudos to you. You probably still relish the feeling you got when an innocent but disarmingly clever tweet you tweeted went viral, liked, and shared by people from around the world. You're probably still chasing that high up to this day, but without success. That should be enough to make you feel like a one-hit wonder. Enough to make you want to quit social media, perhaps? Yes, being popular on social media will give you a kind of high like no other. But like all artificial highs, it's never sustainable. Unfortunately, once you get that awesome kick from the dopamine shooting through your brains, thanks to hundreds or thousands of likes and shares, you'll be wanting more and more of that same feeling. And when you don't get it, you suffer from a hard crash. That crash will be painful. And if you don't get to manage your relationship with social media, before you know it, you will have turned into a bona fide attention seeker no one likes. You might find yourself devolving into that kind of person who keeps punching random jokes on their keyboard or photoshopping their photos that no longer resemble their reality. And for what? A collective cringe you won't even be aware of, courtesy of your expansive social media network, which had, by then, tagged you as a clout chaser. 6. Social media gets you addicted. You probably pride yourself on living a healthy life. You have no addiction whatsoever. You stay away as much as you can from harmful substances like drugs and alcohol. The only guilty pleasure you could fess up to is your tendency to doom scroll through your social media every chance you get. Well, we've got bad news for you. The only thing that separates you from an alcoholic or a drug abuse victim is clinical diagnosis. Yes, that's how grim the prognosis is for someone who's hooked to Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Now, you might be wondering what telltale signs you should be wary of when it comes to social media addiction. For starters, gauge your personal relationships. Has it gotten to a point that you no longer have meaningful relationships outside the digital space? Have you been feeling more and more isolated despite spending hours on end on social media channels? Another helpful barometer would be your reliance on likes and shares. Have you quit other sources of accomplishment and inspiration entirely and zeroed in completely on how much interaction you could garner from your friends, followers, and mutuals? If yes, maybe it's time to quit social media, or at the very least, give it a break. Now that we've discussed why you should quit social media, the million-dollar question is, do the hot takes on this video align with your beliefs or not? Either way, please tell us what you think in the comments. If you believe as fervently as we do that social media is bad for your health, give this video a like. While you're at it, why not subscribe to our channel for more enlightening content?